Today I will tell you about a program that should be with any master who is engaged in cutting sheet material. It's their laser cutters, seamstresses, furniture makers. This program is called DeepNest. It allows you to optimally place on a sheet of material cut workpieces while it works automatically. Is very simple, very fast, not demanding to resources. To download it, go to the website DeepNest.io, click the button Download. Scroll to the bottom of the page and there is a link to download for Windows. There is also a variant for Mac and options for Linux. But we have Windows, so download the file. The file is an archive, so once the file is downloaded, we unpack it and see two items inside this folder. Samples. It contains examples of vector images and installer application itself. After the application is installed, we see the following window. There are three tabs. The first tab, where we select the items and sheets on which we will place items. Two tab, this setting, and the third tab, this information about the program, its name and version. It is worth examining the settings more. The first line of the settings is used units of measure inches or millimeters because we prefer millimeters, so we will use millimeters. The next line and the space between pads is the distance between the elements that we cut, so you need to consider the distance not to damage the cut elements. The next parameter is the tolerance of the curve in order to run faster calculation of placement of elements. The program breaks curves into segments, respectively will be a slight inaccuracy, and here we set the limits of this inaccuracy. In this item we set the number of rotations of elements. For rectangular elements, 4 variants of rotations are enough. If some intricate forms are used, you can set more, 6, 8, 10, but this will increase the time of calculation of placements. Next type of optimization, gravity. When you select this type, all elements are pressed as tightly as possible to one side of the workpiece. Mountain box, in this case, the elements will fit into a square. Then the quantity into the last item, squeeze, is the most unoptimal option. That's why I wouldn't advise using it. The next option allows us to increase the speed of calculating the placement of elements for complex shapes. The shape is rounded and then its contour is much faster placed on the workpiece. Check the number of cores used. If you have a 4-core processor, put 4. The import and export parameters. The first two lines in this section refer to the SVG file format, is the number of dots in a millimeter or in an inch depending on what we chose at the beginning. Here. And the second parameter is the third and fourth lines are parameters for the import of DXF exports, and the units in which you import or export millimeters, centimeters, dots, pixels, and so on. Laser parameters. Here we can allow the lines to overlap, i.e., if two parts fit tightly together we can cut them at one time. In the next parameter we place parts so as to save either materials or time. If we set 0, we will save material. If 1, we will save time. In this case I put 0.5, that is, I chose the best option. The next section are the parameters of the genetic algorithm that allows us to efficiently place elements on the workpiece. I haven't changed. And the last line is the default reset. So we have millimeters, we'll touch the rest. Let's go to work with this program. It's very simple. We press the import button, we import the figures in vector format. Here from the second file it will be added to the list below. After we imported the figures, we need to specify the workpiece, such as a sheet of plywood from which it will be burned. All press the plus button, set the size of the width and height, for example 1 meter by half a meter. Press the Add button, and at the very bottom there was our plywood. Check the box that this is the workpiece on which we will be cutting. Note that the rest of the checkboxes should not be marked. Choose Figures and put the number of figures that we need to cut on the workpiece. By the way, we have too many parts. They all will not fit on the sheet and the program cannot place them. Mark the excess, delete it. It's still too many. I don't like them all. That's it, we've deleted the excess, we've put the number and press the Start Nest button. The best choices are displayed at the bottom left. We can browse through them one by one. The selection can take a very long time, so if you see a suitable option for us, stop the program and export the compiled sheet. This program has another interesting feature. It allows you to link elements on sheets of arbitrary shape, that is, it is possible to link even on scraps. Let's delete our sheet. This part will be assigned to the sheet. Delete this. That's all we're going to delete. That should fit, even make two. Here are two of our parts on a rather complex shape. The program will probably find some more options, but this option is already quite satisfying. Here's a simple, free, and very useful program. All the links are as usual under the video.